Welcome back to another episode. This is going to be a pretty boring episode, in my opinion, because it is going to be a lot of building, a lot of landscaping, and generally just trying to move stuff over. So, sort of an area that's been claimed back here. This is all going to get flattened, turned out, and there's going to be a large sort of factory type thing built there. One thing that I do have to get right now, though, is getting some rubber. So I've got my entire inventory stacked. So one thing I do have to be careful of while standing over here is the trains, because they do hurt. Like only one of them actually stops here, so now we get to head on up and wreak havoc on this beautiful natural area. Luckily, I brought saws. 7 of them, and several hand cranks. That means we get to shift tools over, because I'm only going to be using these for purposes of mining, and it means that everything within this area pretty much is going to get that treatment. So sadly, well, not really sadly, it's just kind of annoyingly, it has to be on the last bottom block of it, so there goes that. Our first tree session. Luckily, some trees only have one bottom block and thus don't require mining out. I can also probably put my thing in my left hand. Eh. Then I just shift that. And I will need in a second to make myself a dump chest. We just make ourselves a crafting table. Don't need actually that one. But I need to not overclick. So this gets us 2 double chests. One will be for stuff that's actually useful. And the other is just going to be like a main dump chest for wood and all the debris that we're going to end up creating. So I'm sort of just going to start this direction. So that's our bottom block. I just click on that. Yep. Then I get both those back. I can run around and collect some of the stuff. But this video is probably going to end up being very long. You'll know that whenever you click on this, because you'll see the time, but you have zero clue how long this will be. So let's pick up all our goodies. Curious if they'll work on this since it's a mushroom. Well, I worked on one part of it. So yeah, crank has to be on the side. I guess it doesn't count to this as a mineable block. Where'd one of my cranks land? Here and over here. We'll go for a double. I only really want one hand crank. Because if I have multiple, then I can't do like little okay. Okay, there it goes. That's just outside of the area. Just kind of funny how that looks. Yep. Like I literally just hover my mouse over that and the auto mines and write things in the offhand. Oh, I was not very much paying attention to my environment, so okay. Brightness real quick so I can actually see. I should also probably head back home sometime. So that I can get the rain to go away, which honestly isn't too bad, but it's not the greatest. Suddenly placed that one too high, but instantly messed that one up. Yeah. Guess I'll worry about these later. Wait, I hope with this one hanging off the hill, this being the lowest block will... Yep, that'll break it all. I don't think I'm ever gonna use like the witch hazelwood, though it would look really good in like a base themed around it, but I don't think I'm gonna be getting any of those types of themes anytime soon. And there's a mineral tree here, so but I'm kind of sick of the lightning, so I'm gonna go fly off back to normal base. I can sort of just follow the train, like the train line. I can just feel my frames drop as I approach. I need a bed. Hmm. Yeah, but this base has sort of reached the limit of how big I can go. Now it's nice and bright, and you can see things as well as I can. And the trees that's kind of annoying is these like uh maple trees. The wood looks very nice, but they've got a pretty wide footprint for the type of tree they are. Handles just keep disappearing. Like, I've lost two hand cranks. Okay, there it is. I know my backpack can get like a magnet upgrade, and there are also like some magnet type items that I can get. Like, I'm curious if I do this and make a new lowest block, if it will take that into consideration and let it mine the whole thing. Yep, that worked. Yep. Turn this, and hopefully it mines. That'll make things a lot brighter. So let's go drop off some stuff. We've cleared a decent chunk of ground. There are probably better ways I can do this. Well, I'm curious if I hope it doesn't even need the low block wall. Okay, it doesn't. I thought it had to, so I guess that was just a misconception. So I don't even really need this because one of the armor and bubbles, the digging claws increased my mining speed, so yeah, this is certainly faster. It may have to be it has to be the only connecting block if there's like if it's far away from the base, I think. So this one's close enough to the base, I think. Yeah, and this one was just connected by diagonal, so that wouldn't have gotten mined anyway. Another tree. Oh, that one didn't work for some reason. And that works. So I've sort of cleared out a decent area. Probably soon I'm gonna get like a sky view. That was way too loud. It's like twice the volume of other trees I've broken. Yeah, so this entire area has sort of been cleared out. Sort of, I've just sort of got this area left. Okay, so that's just another tree down. I'm gonna leave the mushrooms because they don't get broken anyway. I don't know what tool I need for this. Oh. This is Instamine. Okay, I guess it's not Instamine if I'm flying, but any other time it is. Okay, so that's that mushroom gone. Okay, and I figure I probably don't need this entire area cleared out. I think I'm gonna start, and each episode that we're working on this, I'll expand, so let's limit down whatever I'm doing. Yeah, I'll leave that claimed. So I figure we've just got like just like this tree in front of me. So these are kind of fun to mine because they're Instamine things. That would be really nice with a lot more stuff. Sadly, it exists for very little things. Pretty much just like mushrooms, leaves with certain tools, and netherrack if you've got a good enough pick. So I've got a low point, and now it's gone. The thing that's nice is with all the spruce wood, we can probably use it a decent chunk. Okay. There's one singular log up here. No, two. So now there's just the two over here. Okay, so now we've just got to dump off all of our spoils and see how we have way too much witch hazel wood. Because, of course. And I can put mushrooms away. I'll get to reset back up my usual stuff for this. So this is pretty uneven, so I'm thinking probably getting it level at like around a Y level 1 110 or 112. I think 112 is a good idea. I'm not even gonna put you through this, so I will see you in a while once I've gotten all of this mined and my shovel is nearly dead. So I'll see you in a minute. Turns out back at base we had some builder's tea which gives haste. And I'm at just the right level to instamine dirt and grass. So we now get to... Well, I guess I can instamine lush dirt and grass. We're actually meeting normal dirt now, so that may be a bit of an issue. So, just wanted to show this is going to go a lot faster than I was thinking, so I'll see you when it's done. Okay, welcome back. Done a bit of excavating. A bit. We've got all the stuff we're ever going to need. I'm not even going to worry about that stone. I've been mining for the past 10 minutes. So, I did bring some supplies to build with. Because today's goal is getting a functioning, very high quality generator up. Cobblestone generator, I mean. So, I'll find some. So, we're gonna start building the factory over here. So, we're not going to be building directly on this purely because I'm using scaffolding, which looks horrible if built directly on the ground. Just means we build one block up. So then we can. The reason I like scaffolding is because I can just hold down and it auto places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's 8 long. So it's an 8 by 8, which is how far these can build. I'm gonna again build. I'm gonna have a 16 by 16 square for the basis of this. I'm gonna need to get more andesite scaffolding, but if you look at how it's drafted, it's stupidly cheap. So I'm not worried too much about it. So there's 16 by 8. So I will need to go grab buckets and lava from a nearby pool, or I can just pop by to the nether. So I've got a decent number of things that are going to be simple for this, but we're going to need this cobblestone generator is going to be for a couple things, but mainly if we go back to here, you can see cobblestone goes into gravel, then andesite, then I make the crystalline stuff down there. I can open up the map. So where exactly is it? I don't know. I know it exists down there. It's probably covered by something, but doesn't matter too much. So we can finish building out this platform. And then I can get to start on this. The thing is, this is going to be a lot bigger than any previous one I've made. Also, since we don't have power here at the moment, where I'm going to be hand cranking stuff. Or I could use some of the overflow from the water to power water wheels, which is probably going to do better for the whole self-sustaining bit for this. But I'm going to see how much iron I've got over back here, and if I can grab some and just bring it with me. I don't know why I opened that chest. Got bucket of sulfuric acid. But I can't really get stuff out of that. And there it is. Very nice. There's this. I can just go that away. Replace it with water. Now I've got 6 buckets. Which means we take a quick trip to hell and grab ourselves the buckets that we need. So that won't take us very long. If it'll actually load. Yes, back to the fiery pits. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just pop back. So we can probably do a. So the plan I have is sort of, if we make a bunch in a row, we can have drills on top that just constantly mine. So it'll be, we can have like 6 functioning simultaneously, which will allow us to get a lot better results than a lot of the other stuff we can do. So this chest has all our stuff in it. So I'm gonna grab some stuff like metal girders and like all that. I also got some shafts in here. I've got and I've got rubber. So I've also got mechanical fan. So this means we get to go back to the very primitive ways of bulk smelting. Those up. We just smelt that. Okay, so we've just got the rubber in there. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that first. I've also got to go grab the hand crank. We don't have power. So I thought I did, but guess I did not. Oh. Yeah, so now I need to shift click that. So and that wasn't supposed happen. Accidentally held down the wrong button, but it shouldn't take too long. It's kind of hard to see. Okay. We've now got our rubber. Which we can just make into a couple belts. Only gonna make 3 for the moment. We are 100% making more, but stuff needs to be decided on for stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm just moving this table over. So, I also, yeah, there's going to be a lot of bouncing back and forth, but luckily we are fast. But yeah, I just need andesite alloy, so I can get these. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna grab some logs from my backpack. So I'm pretty sure of them surrounding. Yeah, that makes it. So I'm gonna need 6 of those. I don't know why I have a snowball, but hmm. So that should get me a stack, which will 8. I'm gonna need to put in 6 more to get the wood to make them into large ones. Alright, it seems like we accidentally made a little bit too little, so just 2 more. So I was correct in actually assuming 8, but now we need to just set this up, but see, we kind of need to build somewhere for the water source to be, so I'm just gonna make use of this. And my game is going to die by lag again. So this one, now I've got infinite water. I accidentally misplaced one of them. That's good. That's good. Don't know. They should be making infinite water. It may just be because the type of block that's underneath. Yeah, that was it. So now we've got to set up the lava. Oh, actually, first I should probably set up the bell, as it's going to be pretty much inaccessible once I do get the other stuff set up. So, so it's gonna be 3, 4, 5, 6. So So I'm gonna have the water be on this side. Because these will make a pretty good looking backdrop for this. So I know lava is gonna go here, and that because I'm actually gonna need these there. So so I'm pretty sure cobblestone. If I'm messing this up, I'm really stupid, but I'm 99% sure that water just will flow down into whatever crevices below it. Which I'm gonna need to actually finish building that channel because the ground is very uneven here. So, crouch, do all that. Yeah, but the moment I plop down lava, it's gonna flow over this. And stuff will sort of start to work. So I'm gonna put just backdrop of that on it so I can I should probably build it one back. So it'll have a temporary backdrop of dirt that'll get replaced eventually. Oh, I need to not place on the scaffolding like that. No, just block this off. Now I can go grab the actual other stuff. I'm gonna go in my settings, video settings, and I'm gonna should be in yeah. So yeah, I do want particle culling on quality. Wherever particles, yeah, I'm gonna decrease those. It's the end of the fun belt. So now they flow all the way down into here. I don't know how one of them like sort of escaped. So now I can write here. Before losing this got built the way it did. Because I can place these wheels. Which actually should not show on the surface. Now we've got these fully hidden. Not really fully hidden, but it's as close as I'm gonna get. So now just add lava. Glass bucket. Boom. I'm super delayed in actually stepping into that. I'm gonna make this look all nice and pretty. Not really pretty, but looking decent enough. I think I'm gonna just have the full industrial iron on the sides. Now that we've got that, we've got an actual good amount of SU. Because we've got about a little over 3,000 at our disposal. No, you know what? I can make these blocks. Oh, I'm forgetting the word, but like, yeah, in like the water. Which actually doesn't help a ton. And it does mean that I can sort of run into it to get rid of fire. So this is 6 cobblestone generators, which means we need 6 drills. There's this one. Actually, no. Drills were in my backpack. I didn't need to go do that. Didn't need to do that, but allows me to build off of them. It means I don't have to shift click them all into place. Yeah, that's not my problem. That's what it gets for being too close to my stuff. But I do have to. Actually, this isn't about that, but I can extend this out. That's exactly why I had that like that. I think the ash falling on me did damage. Or I may have just flew into it. I don't know. But so I need to get the power from here to here and then off of these ones. So I can add a shaft to all of these, which I'm gonna need more of. So I'll share the power between them. Then I can just use these and make some large cogs. Make 4. So that's probably around what I need. and that. That. Now actually I need to move it over slightly. Only this one needs to be adjusted. Just goes through there. Now, all of that's functioning. And actually is going to be fully functioning, so I need to add some place for it to collect. So I can take all these. I'll make it a spruce chest because they look nice. Yeah. Now is the moment where I need, like, the funnels. So now all that stuff just gets to get put away into the chest. So that'll produce. Oh, forgot I extended off that, so it moved the one right there. It's gonna so annoy me that's out of sync. So I'm gonna wait till they're about the same rack level, and I'm gonna join it in. It'll be closer, I won't notice, so all this will be eventually covered up. Okay, so that is our first little machine. That was first goal of this episode, was getting this. Now we need to figure out what to do with it. Because we can't just collect cobblestone forever. Gotta actually make use of the cobblestone. So first, our course of action is just extending this out. There are these nice little things called manifolds, which is where you take an item and basically at each output split it in half. They take, and eventually they'll result in a decently even distribution of goods. These look nice and linked together. I mean, what's up next? I'm just gonna make these all into belts. They're only gonna be used for belts. That is literally their only purpose. So now I'm gonna. There's gonna be a lot of making stuff right when it's needed, which is part of the point of this whole thing is attempting to get things to where I don't need to worry about them. That goes there, and that goes there, goes there. So, for this, we are going to actually be splitting it 4 ways. So, 3 are going to go into, like, whatever that, it's like a grindstone, I'm pretty sure. Millstone, that's the word. And then after that, they're all going to go through different processes. Or processi. I actually don't know what the plural of that is. Oh, but my computer's hating me right now. I'm gonna put up like pretty much just a full like wall here. Because my computer doesn't need to render it if it doesn't see it. Or it has to render a lot less of it. I'm just gonna turn my render distance down. I'm not that far. I'll have it at 4, which is a little bit less, but since we're working in such a small area, it's not like we need much render anyway. So now very little of this has to be rendered. Which is good, because that's how my computer likes it. There's going to be a ton of stuff which is just going to be done differently than it was last time, because there isn't really going to be a great use for it whenever I can do it hidden and have my computer not die. Like, another precaution I can take is I can get that, and I can make it a decent looking texture. So these accept any texture. And actually, spruce is a nice contradiction to the rest of everything. It's not literally the only moving thing here that is occasionally seen as that. It's making my computer happy. And this can be cleared up. I'm gonna actually clean everything up, even the parts that I'm not even normally gonna see. Okay, so that's all storing up in this chest. Everything will probably go faster once I actually put a decent amount of speed in the system. But I'm just gonna grab pretty much a decent chunk of the stuff in here that I think I'm gonna need in the next little while. Have the nice thing is about having floors that blend in, so I can use them for stuff like this. Wrong direction, which means we just head over here. So now any input I put in here will go along there. And I need more millstones. Time to check how I get them. They're most likely going to be, they're very basic, so I'm not expecting them to be expensive. Just an andesite casing is any stone and a cog. So, I think that should be able to be satisfied. It just means I have to take a couple logs out here. And I can I'm gonna, I'll just hold on to that. I think junk can go into the backpack. So now we just do that, that, that. It's 1, 2, 3. So so 2 lanes are going to be going. So I think I used up all the rubber. I'll take this one offline. It's gonna be used probably the least. So I could also use crushing wheels, but they take up too much space. Actually, I did have them. I'm blind. So all but one of them go into millstone. Then actually gonna have to move this. Now, of course, rain decides to show up. So then this lane is going to get another millstone, as this is going to be making sand. This one is going to get washed, which means it will become, I'm blanking on what it is, but it'll become flint and iron nuggets, and then this last one is going to get smelted, which, as demonstrated here, turns into andesite. And then this one is just going to be an offshoot that's just going to head that direction, because apparently this one needs cobblestone. I'm pretty sure for bulk haunting, which makes blackstone, but so this is pretty much gonna end here. Meanwhile, these just sort of are going until they hit something, but I will have to head back to base as I need to get myself some andesite machinery. And I picked up some mineral logs on accident from one tree. So now it's off back home. Or I can barely even see the ground at how high I'm going. So I'm gonna grab one of the stack. I'll toss it in the basin with a stack of crystallized mineral, so we can re-get some good amount of andesite alloy. I'll just stand here for a second and wait for it to condense. Simply gonna toss that in. And with this, I can make planks, and I will need 32. Good enough. I'm only aiming for a couple machines, so andesite ones. So I don't need any more of the fancy stuff. Got I hate when this happens because I have to like manually go in and fix this. So I'm gonna grab up all these, and it's just one after the other. 100% don't need this many, but I can put this in my offhand, so. My game is dying over here. And I went too far. Now, we just take these, put them around. Make it 4 Andesite machines. Which can make that. So it would be really cool to have a weighted ejector, but not currently have the stuff for it. I know somewhere I have a... Yeah, I have a brass machine, which I'm gonna chop up as well into funnels. I just head off back here, then around to where the factory is being built. Okay. Place just one on the front, on the back. I'm simply going to use chests for the moment instead of item, like trait, whatever the large blue containers are, because one, I don't have any over here, and two, it's frankly unnecessary at the moment. Things will can always be upgraded. And I actually do need another bucket of lava and another of water. So there is a lava pool over that way. So off that way I shall go. It is right here. I'm actually not going to worry about this one for the moment. Just things are complicated with all of this stuff. But actually, I'm gonna be honest, I'm feeling kind of unmotivated at the moment to get all this done. So, I will see you next episode, where hopefully we do something more productive than just get a basic cobblestone generator up and running, even if it is a very nice one. So, I will see you next episode. I hope you enjoyed. This didn't turn out as long as I was expecting, but thanks for watching nonetheless, even though this was a bore most likely. Goodbye.